Hello, I'm Alexey Gerakev, the co-owner of VironIT, and in this video I'm gonna tell you how to create a social media app. I'm glad that you are watching this video and hope the information I share with you will be quite useful for your project. As you know, there exists Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and maybe WeChat as well, and Snapchat appeared because it lacks some features from Facebook, and Facebook copies some features from Snapchat to Instagram. So there are a lot of changes going on in social media networking industry, and that's why there is a still gap for a new project. And if there are new social networks like TikTok, Qzone, QQ. Maybe you hear them for the first time. I think WeChat. Most of these projects are based in China, and there is still also a gap and space where you can create your social media app that would be useful, popular, and successful. Okay, let's talk about strategy. So there are many posts and videos about strategy of your social media app, but I want you to answer 3 simple questions that would help you understand how to plan your social media app better. So the first question is who? Who would be using your app? Who are these people? What are their ages, sex orientation, race, maybe job title, and other things that are necessary for your app. So you should understand very good your audience. Who would be using your app? Then you need to answer the question how. How are they going to use your app? Would it be just text messages, videos, photos, short messages, long posts, long reads, and maybe other type of content, maybe some audio files. So you have to understand how. How are they going to interact with your app, with the users inside your app, with their friends, and so on. So the question number 3 is why. So why users would come back to your app? Why they would refer the app to their friends? What would make them come back to your app? So what it means that what type of content and what type of interaction would be happening inside your app that would take users back. So you have to answer all these 3 questions to build the strategy of your social media app. Okay, we've talked about strategy, now let's talk about development. So development is a very important part of the project, and we at VironIT advise all the customers create clickable prototypes of a future mobile app. So clickable prototype is basically some screens which created by a business analyst, and he makes those clickable prototypes, which are not real apps but just a prototype. And if you can open that in the browser and just click on buttons and see the basic interaction of the future application. So if your application is quite complex and contains many screens, and with many transitions from one screen to screen A, from screen A to screen B, and so on, so a lot of stuff going on, so it's quite complex to implement all that without bugs. So that's why we advise to create a prototype which you open in the browser. You talk each screen, communicate, and see what's going on here, there, which button should be there, which screen, what would be the profile, how many updates on the profile, what kind of notifications, flows, and everything you have to, what would have to be on the app. So after everything is created, you pass it several times, so that saves like 50% of the budget just in the beginning. So it's really crucial to do prototyping. That's user interface, user experience. It's all done here. Okay, let's think that we have a clickable prototype, and so we've given it to designer, and he gave us back the design, and we can give it to our development team. So development team gets the design, cuts it to that kind of interface, puts all the buttons and everything else on the mobile app. So the mobile app can't work itself, so it needs to store the data somewhere on a server. So all the images, pictures and videos which user generate and upload through the app, they go to the server. And to make it possible, to make it happen, we need to have an API. So API is basically how mobile app talks to the server, the storage, how to exchange data. So the app tells that please save that picture for user number 1. Okay, the mobile app transfers the picture, server saved the picture somewhere and responded back that the picture was saved successfully. And for all the interaction between the app and a server, there should be an API method, which basically a language between application and actually software and software, how they interact and understand each other. So as humans, we use the words to understand. Here the software also uses some text and messages in special format to understand what's going on. So basically we've created the interface, we've created the API. So the server side contains all the social logic and the layer to operate with database and storages, which could be also a big pain for a social network. Because every social network in common, they have friends, posts, photos, and videos, not always, but videos, or maybe some audio files. So a lot of content is generated every second. So if the social media app becomes popular, a lot of content is generated every second. So it means that all that kind of content goes to the storage. And the number of the storage is increasing in a tremendous way. So that's why YouTube is not profitable. Or at least Google hasn't announced. Is it profitable or not profitable? Because too much video content is uploaded to YouTube daily, and a lot of traffic to view that videos is gone to Google service also every second. What does it mean? It means that you have to think about scalability of your storage, and also you have to provide a good speed. So if somebody requests to see a video, image, photo, or message, it should be done quickly. And it's also quite tricky to allow users to access the content quite fast. So for these purposes, CDN networks might be used. CDN, content delivered networks, to increase the speed of loading that kind of resources. So, and as I said, that the more content you have, the more servers you have. So if you get more popular, it means that you have more and more servers, and at a certain period of time, you need to understand when and how you're going to earn money on your social media app, and you have to think about monetization. And before thinking about monetization, you have to think about data mining. So data mining means that you need to get the data about users to somehow show targeted advertisement. Of course, it depends on your business model and so on, but most of the networks somehow try to use personal data to make a targeted advertisement for the user base, and you have to think about data mining, how and when you're going to get the data about users, and it can be also used to show relevant data, and that kind of algorithm should be also implemented inside your social media app before it goes to the market. But of course you can do it later on, but the more data you have, the better it would be for better targeting. Okay, let's continue about monetization. So there are different monetization tactics, and of course you can use like in-app purchases, or there can be some paid content. Of course there could be ads, and basically anything else you can just imagine and include inside your app. So one of the interesting examples of recent social media apps is Flow. Flow is a social media app. It's an ovulation calendar and period tracker for women, and it is #1 in the US at the moment. It has 26 million monthly active users. So it's a huge database of women who use that app for tracking their period. So having that data, they can also have a really very targeted advertisement, but they've been developing their software for several years, and they have just started some monetization tactics. So before that, 2 years or maybe 2 years and a half, there was no monetization tools. They were focused on building the audience, and as they built the audience, they started to do some experience with monetization. So it means that social media app based on your funding and your financial needs could take a long time before the monetization. And the trends are to turn on monetization the later the better. So it is depends on you when are you going to turn on monetization, and here are some tips that you might use. So, and that's a nice example I like, and well, they started like a calendar, and now they turning the app in a social network, so where women can talk to each other anonymously and about serious issues such as period, and you can't discuss period on a forum or on Facebook or somewhere else. So and here there is a space where they can share their thoughts and concerns about what's going on with their body, with their health, and so on. That's why that make that app popular, and also because they have some AI on the backend, which is also quite powerful. So have a look at it, and it's one of the examples how to build a successful social media app. Okay, so many people think what kind of development teams they need to develop an app. So basically, we have two mobile platforms, Android and iOS, which is most popular. So it depends on you where to start from Android or iOS. So let's assume we start with iOS. So it's iPhone, tablets, and so on. We advise to start with one platform. And why? Because when you start developing for one mobile platform, I haven't seen any project in my life where there were no change requests inside the project. So when you start development, there are new features going on. You rethink your understanding. You understand what's really required, what is not required, what to include, what to exclude from the list. We strongly advise to start development for one platform. So when you launched it, when you had some period of testing and so on, you understand better, and on the Android version, you will spend less time and less money, and there will be less bugs as well than on iOS version, because you would know what you really need, not just what might be useful, but you would know better. So, and that would lead to your, it will save your budget. For the development team, at least one iOS developer. So for Android, it's also at least one developer. And some customers prefer to start with React Native. React Native is a JavaScript framework built by Facebook, which can build hybrid mobile apps. So it means that you can build with one developer for two platforms, for iOS and Android, and the performance is quite good. Also, it would not run on all the old Android devices, but on new devices it runs quite okay. So you may consider starting you up with React Native, as it would require just one developer instead of two. So the API and the server side. So it could be done by one developer, but I think it would be 1+1, because the business logic tends to be more complex, and if you have two developers, it would be better, of course. You have a better development team and progress and so on, so it would be better to have two developers on that side. So then how to say, part-time jobs, design. Well, design doesn't change really often, and even Facebook has just launched a redesign, and they haven't redesigned their app for many years. So there would be, you need a designer, but I would say that like part-time or just some fixed scope. And also you need a UI and UX specialist, can also be considered as a part-time job in the beginning, not full-time job for a long time. And of course we need a project manager, project and a product manager. So I'll put them down. So project manager and product manager. So many people mix them and don't understand exactly what it means. So project manager answers the question how, and product manager answers the question what. So project, how we build, how, and project, what we build and why. We need upload videos or video streaming because our audience likes games and streams them online, like a Twitch, but with some features. Is a product manager explains what are we building for whom. And project manager understands, okay, if we need video streaming, so then we need a server side, some special software, some developers, QA, and so on. And he is responsible to deliver the project, and he is responsible for answer how are we going to achieve what is required. So basically there should be two roles on the project, but sometimes there can be a founder who is responsible for two these roles. So he may be a product manager and project manager, but when the product evolves, so there is a project manager, and usually it's on our team, it's a dedicated project manager who manages all the people, all the team, and because it requires a lot of time and effort to bring all the people together on the same page and tell them what exactly needs to be done. So, and consumes a lot of time. And product manager is focused on the core, what is required, on the features. He studies the market, he does some business analysis, and so on. He understands the product and explains that vision to the project manager, and that how it makes the social media app successful, or at least it is one of the ways how to create a successful social media app. So I haven't added to the list QA. QA is a quality assurance specialist, and I put here at least two. It's better to test software many times. The more times you test the software, the better it is. Because even if you test it thoroughly, the software, and you launch it, and anyway, there will be some features and some issues that users bring because they use the software in an unpredictable way from different types of software, operation systems, and so on. So it's better to have two quality assurance engineers on a team which would deliver the project. And of course, a Devops. Devops is development operations, is advanced system engineer who understands how the software, how to configure the software and the hardware to run in a more optimized way to meet the project needs, and how to configure everything, how to set up servers, and you know, many technical stuffs to make it possible to run the social media app. Okay, basically, as you see, there is a team of at least, okay, let's say one and two, or like four people, and with full-time job, one is part-time, and project manager. So at least 4 to 5, like a very small. The minimal team is like 4 people. Of course, it could be much more people, and but that is a minimal team that could work on the project and deliver the first version of social media application. And most probably such a project would require several, well, at least 3 to 4 months of work. The approximate budget to build a social media application is at least 60K. $60,000 is approximate budget to deliver a first version of a social media application. Because as you see, there is quite a big team, and well, it also depends on a feature list and what is and the logics and the complexity of a social media application. So today we've talked about strategy, about business, about market development, and well, I've shared some useful tips with you, and I hope you like them. And if you like, so please put like on our video, and I hope you see again on our video blog. It was Alexey Grakov from VironIT. See you next time.